Well, here we go again. Another crazy story that has sunk into the British news cycle in 2024, right at the top of the year. Just take a look at this.
A convicted jihadi terrorist, peeps, who was sent to jail for 4 years for preparing jihadi propaganda. This is propaganda that says cut people's heads off. Has decided, Khalid Baqa, that he wants 1,850 quid minimum from Robbie here because he believes that the sign outside Robbie's pub, a Green King pub, the Saracen's Head, the picture, he described it as the racist depiction of a bearded Arab or Turk and insisted the depiction incites violence. He says that if he is successful in this prosecution, he's suing you, Robbie, he will attack another 30 pubs with the same name.
Yeah, I wonder what Jeremy Kyle meant by that. Look, there's so much to unpick about this story, but before we get into it, let me just show you a little picture of Khalid Baqa, the convicted terrorist. Yep, that's him. And every time I see this picture, I don't know why, but I just get an image of a character from The Simpsons bumping into him and them having a child that ends up looking like this. Khalid Baqa, of course, a convicted terrorist who created jihadi propaganda here in the UK. He served 4 years in prison. God knows if he is a foreigner, why he is still in this country and hasn't been deported. That's one question I'd like to know. I don't know whether Khalid Baqa is a British citizen, by the way, but if he isn't, why is he still here? It's crazy to me that he's still in this country. Secondly, if he is a British citizen, why did he stay in the UK? Why stay in a country that you hate so much, Khalid? Why did you want to be here? Why do you want to be in a country where you can't even look at the name of a pub and be content? There's plenty of other countries around the world where I'm sure you would fit in better and you'd probably enjoy living in. I mean, Syria seems like it's open for new radical Islamists. Iran's been harboring them for years. You could always go to Hamas. They seem to be short on people at the moment. But Khalid aside, let's just get him off here because I just cannot keep looking at that picture without laughing. That aside, there's something else he said in his statement about his intention to sue this landlord. He said the words inciting violence. Now, this is a word that is constantly, and at least lately, being peddled by the far left and Islamists. The Muslim Council for Britain put out a report just last week that accused GB News of risking inciting violence because it has reports on Muslim stories, more so than Sky and BBC. Well, perhaps GB News has to do that because Sky and the BBC haven't been doing their job the last 30 years and haven't been reporting the facts. In fact, their sensitivity to reporting these stories has inevitably contributed to scandals like the grooming gangs in Rotherham, where the police thought it was racist to report that this was going on by mostly Pakistani communities. We have desensitized institutions and made them completely compliant with this extremist ideology out of fear of racism. It's absolutely incredible, and it's a danger, a massive threat, not only to our democracy, but to our way of life. It's infiltrated so many institutions, and it only goes in one direction. But I'm glad to say that there seems to be a reverse wave of this as the British public have finally decided enough is enough, the same way that the Americans have as well with the election of Donald Trump. Anyway, I digress. The second part here is about British culture. British culture goes back over 1,000 years, and pubs are a critical part of our culture. They have been forever, for as long as the books go back. And I don't know about you guys, but there is multiple pubs nearby me that are the King's Head or the Queen's Head. You probably live near one yourself. There's nothing insensitive about it. It doesn't mean we're trying to chop off the head of the monarch at this moment in time, at least. We have done before, but not at this moment in time. And it certainly isn't meant to be some sort of racist trope. It's normally a tribute to some sort of cultural phenomenon that happened in the area, particularly with names that are relevant to the local community. Again, we've managed to find ourselves completely drained of our culture because we've been bending over backwards to make people feel comfortable. Look, I'm 33. I grew up in London, one of the most diverse parts of London in northwest London, and we never talked about race. There was never problems with religion. There was never problems with street names or statues. People just saw it and went, okay, well, that's what it was. But now we seem to have to write over our culture to appease a very small minority of extreme zealots. This kind of thinking is going to get our country into serious trouble in the future if we do not act now. If we do not act now and start speaking up. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do on this channel, with this YouTube channel, is have more counter arguments out into the media. And I hope if you've enjoyed this content, or even if you disagree with me, you can leave a comment below. But if you have enjoyed it, please subscribe. I'm trying to put these out at least weekly and get into the swing of things. You can also follow me on my other social media accounts on Twitter. I've had loads of debates on there, trust me. And I'm also doing regular slots on GB News at the moment. So thanks for watching. I hope I see you again for the next one.